Hey babe, what's your biggest fear? Oh, I really hate spiders. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Fears! Now I don't mind spiders, snakes don't really bother me, and until sharks become smart enough to lure me into the water, I really don't need to worry about them. But there is one thing I'm not so keen on. Heights! So when my birthday came around this year, my very thoughtful girlfriend decided what better to gift me with than a high climbing treetop challenge. But, of course, me not wanting to seem ungrateful, rather than simply saying, "What the hell were you thinking? How about I just jump into this pit of snakes for my birthday instead?" I responded, "Oh wow, thank you so much. I can't wait to do this." So here's the story of how the classic English urge to be polite and not seem ungrateful even at the worst of times can overwhelm even the strongest fears for self-preservation. We arrived at the site nice and early before being fitted with our incredibly uncomfortable harnesses and given a brief demonstration on how not to fall to your death. Then, once you've demonstrated that you can basically climb a ladder and walk in a straight line, they just send you on your way. Courses 1, 2, and even 3 were not too bad. Just climb a ladder and walk along a few structurally questionable looking rope bridges, then slide down a small zip wire at the end. Besides from the non-stop agony of being confronted by my greatest fear, I thought it was going quite well. But when I got to course number 4, that's when my confidence began to waver. With each course, the platform gets higher, which lined up nicely with my regret to ever take part in this in the first place. But we don't want to seem ungrateful, remember? So I soldier on. So I climb, walk, and even swing my way through the course, feeling pretty damn proud of myself, until I come to my first big roadblock. At the end of the 4th course, much like all the others, is a zip wire. However, not only is this zip wire twice the size of any to this point, but its mounting point is lower to the body. Now, why is this a big deal for me? Well, because every other zip line until now, you simply step forward and away you go. However, with the mounting point being positioned lower here, that means I have to step off the platform, allowing myself to free fall for a few feet before the zip line catches me. And as I'm sure most of you know, the fear of heights is mostly rooted in the fear of falling. So, at this point now, I'm terrified. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on my shirt already, mum's spaghetti. But, against the risk of seeming even remotely ungrateful, I take that step forward into what I assume to be my final moments. But I survived! I made it! And after about 15 seconds of screaming, my feet are now firmly back on the ground. I have never been more relieved. Oh my god, it's finally over. I am never going back into a tree ever again. Well done! Just course number 5 to go. What the... So up I climb again. And this time I can tell you, my nerves are shot. My body is shaking and every step up the ladder is getting harder and harder. And this ladder was going on forever. Are we at the top yet? I continue my way through the course, just willing myself to get to the end. The sooner I get there, the sooner this is all over and I'm back at home with a comfy duvet and a nice hot chocolate. Meanwhile, my girlfriend is waving and smiling. I continue to act like I'm having the time of my life. Although, at this point, I think the veil is getting pretty thin on that one. But after possibly the most nerve-wracking experience of my life, I was finally here. The final obstacle. The only thing standing between me and the end of the worst birthday gift I've ever received. And much like all the courses before it, it just comes down to the zip wire. However, This one's standing at around 29,000 feet. Granted, I didn't measure it and nobody has since confirmed that figure, but it certainly felt that high. When I stood at the edge of that platform and looked out at the zip wire running across the entirety of the park, the only way down to jump, my greatest fear come to life, I felt something. Something ancestral, something powerful. The will of England. The belief in all we English hold dear to who we are as human beings manifested itself as a voice that came to me. And this voice simply said to me, "You don't want to look ungrateful.